Regardless of how IDubbbz decides to cut ties with Creator Clash, there's still going to be a significant amount of reputation staining. IDubbbz did not communicate with any of these individuals. He has not asked them to promote the event. What was IDubbbz doing the previous year? This actually paints IDubbbz in such a bad light. This event was actually dead on arrival. Just when you think IDubbbz's reputation could not get worse, it does. Freddy Wong, he's one of the fighters in Creator Clash, right? I poked a little bit of jokes about how this guy's a complete nobody. But apparently, he came out with a statement in regards to Creator Clash, giving a little bit of pushback, a little bit of criticism on how they're managing their events. Courtesy of QQ again. Here's our favorite Destiny Orbiter researcher. That's a joke, by the way. Freddy Wong drops a long message in the Creator Clash Fighter Discord. Asks about communication, event reputation, which is a big deal, by the way, and something that I talked about pretty heavily in my some of my previous uploads. How to promote without getting hate. Another thing that I brought up in my most recent upload on this channel, and something that I brought up in my previous Gamma Live channel as well, in a previous segment, pay disparity and more. Our current trajectory does not instill confidence. And this is their statement. So Freddy Wong states, illustrious fellow warriors and event handlers, I hope everyone's getting a good rest day in. In the wake of the new announcement video detailing the change in ownership structure of Creator Clash, or to be more accurate, the brief statement detailing changes the ownership of Creator Clash, followed by 28 minutes of continued relitigation of what I'll charitably call internet nonsense. Good shit, buddy. There remain some lingering questions that I, as well as I suspect the other fighters, would appreciate clarity on. As I noted in my previous message, I would expect communication with the fighters to be at the absolute top of your priority list, as I don't believe any of us enjoy finding out about substantive developments via 15-second clips from muckraking Twitter accounts. Muckraking Twitter accounts. What is the communication strategy and cadence we can expect from the organization moving forward, and how do we ensure we, the people, sign up to get punched in the head, receive information ahead of the general public? Okay, so it appears that all of the criticism that I gave IDubbbz a couple of days ago, all of the criticisms that I gave IDubbbz a couple of days ago seem to be true. And one of the criticisms that I gave is that IDubbbz is completely out of touch, because by making a content cop and trying to by making a content cop, he alienated a lot of the supporters that he has, and even potentially fighters, right? This isn't something that you can just pin on Ethan Klein. By obviously choosing a side, an optically bad side at that, it is incredibly easy for people to just, say, I don't want to align with this person, I don't want to promote the event, I don't want anything to do with this, or else I'll possibly receive hate depending on which person I align with, right? And all of these concerns are something that I brought up that would probably be in these people's heads. And they're concerns that we see poking their head now, right? Well, they're concerns that are now manifesting. We are seeing them happen in real time. Ian noted in his video that I can't really have my cake and eat it too. You're either going to talk shit like Val Beast on the internet, or you're going to have a charity event. It really can't be both. Does this mean we expect continuing back and forth post-separation? Well, I don't need all the... minutiae? Well, I don't need all the minutiae of the separation agreement. Are there non-disparagement or broader agreements in place to protect TC's reputation and public standing? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Regardless of how IDubbbz decides to cut ties with Creator Clash, there's still going to be a significant amount of reputation staining due to his inability to understand how his optics would be after making a content cop like that. What are the plans to proactively address Jesus Christ, and they call me somebody that used too many fucking big words. What are the plans to proactively address the comment miasma that, at least for me, disincentivizes any social media comments, as I prefer to spend my... Christ! And motherfuckers complain about me using too many fucking big words. They didn't tell the fighters in advance. Yeah, they didn't tell the fighters in advance, which is completely fucking idiotic, right? If IDubbbz was failing at communicating anybody, then who is he to be throwing any shit at anybody or trying to pin this on Ethan Klein? This motherfucker cannot communicate. He can't do anything. He sucks at event management, and he probably sucks as a boss too. If he wasn't communicating, then he imagine what else he sucks at. No wonder both of his videos sucked, because this guy can't do research. He can't properly communicate anything. Complete unintelligent, idiotic behavior. But anyways, what are the plans to proactively address the common miasma that, at least for me, disincentivizes any social media comms, as I prefer to spend my time training and not slogging through the comment output of internet morons parroting the talking points of the streamer they have pledged allegiance to? See, that's exactly what I was referring to. This is exactly what I was referring to. You are alienating so many people by choosing a side and aligning with people. Like, everything that I criticized Ian for in regards to Creator Clash and in regards to his content cop is literally just manifesting. It is coming to pass. It is becoming reality. Excuse my tautology. How are we reasonably expected to promote this event? Good point. What are the plans and projected timetable with regards to finding replacements for the dropped fighters, and what is the strategy? What is the strategy behind how they will be rolled out? At the onset of the event, the character of the individuals on the fight card was a major factor in my participation. What say do we, the fighters, have in this decision? What assurance do we have that whoever gets recruited doesn't bring more controversy and negative attention to the event? I mean, to be honest, I understand your concern, but if this is a concern of yours, you probably shouldn't if this is a concern of yours, then you probably shouldn't be participating in any YouTuber event ever, because there are going to be so many names that have some controversies or some negative clouds attached to them, right? I understand the concern, but it's not something that you should be concerned about. You should just focus on your job and do it. As unfortunate as it is to say. I'm probably being, like, very obtuse here. I'm probably, like, neglecting to mention something here or to understand something. But, I mean, realistically, so many people have controversies. So many people are tied. So many people are tied with certain controversies as well that it would be incredibly difficult to, you know, reasonably expect for all of the people that participated in an event to be clean. Do we plan on continuing to honor the commitment of pay parity amongst the fighters? And does that restrict the organization's ability to feasibly find replacement fighters this close to the event? In other words, if we're paying everyone the same, do we think the amount is going to be enough to commit a fight-ready heavyweight and welterweight willing to withstand the crossfire by being in the midst of aforementioned internet nonsense? So, are you basically saying that you want to be paid more? Is that what they're saying? Can somebody, like, QQ, you're a fucking lawyer. You're good at breaking. You're literally good at breaking down verbose statements. You're good at breaking down verbose statements. I believe that there's a fucking word for this beyond verbose. Somebody that, like, you know, purposely uses big words to make themselves not like pseudo intellectual, obviously, but somebody that makes their, you know, sentences as complicated as possible to make it as hard to like understand as possible. Can you break this down? Is he basically asking that? Is he asking whether or not, like, is he asking if they're going to be paid more for participating in an event that has, like, a negative reputation? Oh, I see. Okay, so his concern here, right, is that they're probably going to need to pay any future replacements more, which will be unfair to the initial fighters, right? Because for somebody to come to an event with such hot drama around it, or such, like, you know, controversy tied to it, then they would probably be, like, you would probably need to pay them a pretty good sum for them to even consider the participation. I understand. Moving forward, what are the plans and projected timetables to market and promote the event? Who is taking the lead on this? So they don't know? Nobody knows? Nobody's being asked to promote this event? And IDubbbz wants to fucking slather this on Ethan Klein? IDubbbz wants to say that the internet will blame them for this? So as far as I'm getting from this, IDubbbz did not communicate with any of these individuals. He has not asked them to promote the event, right? Which is a huge fucking red flag, if true. These people have no information about how to handle any PR in regards to this. They have no information in regards to how to handle any marketing or how to go forward to ensure the success of this event. And it seems like the new owners aren't communicating this with them either. What was IDubbbz doing the previous year? What was he doing? What the fuck was he doing? Jesus Christ. What was he doing? No, like actually, what was IDubbbz doing? Like this speaks so fucking poorly on IDubbbz. This actually, like, paints IDubbbz in such a bad light. What was IDubbbz and Anissa actually doing? They weren't communicating with these individuals. They weren't strategizing any potential PR moves or any marketing strategies, right? What were they doing? This event was actually dead on arrival. What is the timetable for updating social media and the event website to more accurately reflect our current lineup? While I appreciate the desire to ensure all outward comms contain substantive information, I will also note that the longer everything is out of date, the more we invite further ridicule and the more chaotic this event seems. True. I don't even have to say anything here. This is just true. Having run my share of organization at various scales, I can appreciate the complexities of internal versus external comms, cadence, and tone. However, I believe I speak for all of us when I say that the current strategy of zero prior communications or heads up internally to the fighters is an unacceptable methodology moving forward. Providing dates for upcoming announcements without any information as to the content of those announcements isn't enough. Our current trajectory does not instill confidence, and I look forward to hearing about what substantive changes we plan to implement. Okay, so this guy, what he's saying, right? To break it down to you, because this guy's speaking my language quite literally, right? What he's saying is that there hasn't been any communication. They want some feedback. They want some communication immediately. They need somebody to update them on what it is that they want to do or what it is that is going to be done. And he wants it soon. Finally, I'd like to stress that I speak here for myself, but I encourage my other buff gladiators to chime in. I'm tired of stressing out about this stuff in the dark. Let's stress out about this stuff together. Jesus fucking Christ. Actually, Jesus fucking Christ. So there's as I predicted, as I stated in the past, these people that are associated with this fight are probably like incredibly perturbed by everything that's been going on. And this shows it. The morale with the people involved in this fight, the morale with the people that are involved in this event isn't probably incredibly shot. The morale is probably in the negatives. I just don't see how this event can ever survive. This is actually so pathetic. This is so sad. And this shows that IDubbbz is a completely pathetic, idiotic individual that should have never attempted to run a charity event again. And this is something that he's absolutely going to be ridiculed for. He's absolutely going to have to take accountability for this, right? Despite how much he wants to like off-put some of it or offload some of it on Gila and Ethan Klein. What a pathetic and sad display. IDubbbz is actually like, when you thought it couldn't get worse, IDubbbz like keeps digging himself a bigger grave. Like, just when you think IDubbbz reputation could not get worse, it does.